Yes, a special one from the CEOs downtown with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat kepa, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? This one you got today.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
This one you got today.
Spoon.
Beseku.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba.
Spoon.
Skibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Kuwa. Beseku kuwa kudileo. Kuwa kudileo.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, a special one from the CEOs downtown with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you batileo. Yes, what you batileo. Besetu. Para ba. Skibidi dabado.
I want to say to you, the president has the power to appoint. It's his constitutional right. And you as a citizen, you have a right to express how you feel. So what I would say to you, even if you want to exercise a democratic right to express to him how you feel, you are welcome to go and express how you feel. Don't do it in a violent way. He's the president of the republic. We put him there. All of us are right here, pay the price, and Joe Biden to become president. Yo.
When you tell you not have people wake up,
Zayo.
people wake up,
Zayo. And so I would say to you this morning, don't worry about me, I'm okay. I'm pretty fine.
but we are not fun.
But if you are not fine, I would say to you, go and express yourself. You are not 35. Go to the president.
The hope of the ordinary people depends on you.
You are not 35. You are not 35. Nobody thought that Unity Party was going to win this election. Ordinary people like you took on the challenge. Oh, yeah. Your community, some of you were threatened. Oh, yeah.
Grangu Kande. No more souls.
Seriously, I want to this one.
I lost my house, I nearly lost my family.
Yes.
But the same JMB presidency
Yes.
finally become president.
We are aware.
We will want him to succeed. It's too early. I know how you feel. But it is also your right to go there and tell him how you feel. But do it peacefully. He's the president of the republic. He must be accorded the respect that is due him. Don't worry about me. I'm okay.
Whoa, we're going to take care of.
If he will change his mind for any service, we are here. But let GMB and any Liberian leader be reminded that it's no longer going to be business as usual.
No way. Thank you.
When the people put you there, you got to listen to them.
Yes.
So go and express your feeling, how you feel about this and what's going on. He's a wise man. He's a man who listens.
Yeah.
I don't think he will see you at your gate and ask the soldiers to beat you. You are the bosses. From GMB to everybody, we wait for you.
Sure.
We wait for you. So if you are not happy about anything, you got to express it. Going forward, let Liberian leaders know that the main bosses are the people. And when the people are not happy, the leader will not go well.
Yes.
That's what play we pass. That's what play we pass. That's what play we pass.
So I want to say to you, go there. You must demand you want to see the president.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. When it was time for the campaign,
Yes.
he came to you and said, you're making president, you will see what I will do.
For sure.
And you gave him the mandate.
Yeah.
Go there and demand you want to see him.
Just be peaceful.
I am very sure he's going to listen to you.
Yeah.
Don't be violent.
I see anything
We
you say.
made the president. He will listen to us.
Okay.
Go in peace. When I'm needed, I will come and speak.
Thank you.
We have called the ordinary people. We brought about this revolution
Yes.
for your upliftment. And no human being born or woman will hijack this revolution.
No.
They will make it for their family.
Yeah.
Most of you are not even in this for yourself. Your children you did it for.
Yeah.
And it's too early for people who did not even witness what happened.
Nothing.
When we were there, we were in the poopy water. Express yourself, and I know the president will listen to you.
I'm sorry, yes. Thank you, Baba.
We start by making sure those people that we bring to cabinet are people of integrity. And secondly, want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known, the purpose of coming to government, to know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood on line, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that the other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear message, declare your asset, make sure that we are prepared to audit the outgoing government so that they tell the Liberian people of their stewardship, and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves. If they don't understand that, they actually fall where it may.
Mr. President-elect, you talked about asset declaration starting from yourself and the people who work with you, as well as the outgoing administration. How do you plan to avoid the semblance of targeting people? Because some people will say these are politically motivated to tarnish their reputation or to go against them, people from certain tribes or specific parts of the country. How do you plan to avoid this?
We are aware of that. And when we talk about auditing, it's not going to be a Liberian auditing. We want to make sure that our international partners work with us for a public tender, for competent and renowned auditing firm that will be qualified at an international level to make sure they come on board to do that. We are aware of people saying witch hunting, but I don't think it's witch hunting when you have to account for your stewardship, but it has to be done in a way that is well-established, entity with reputation, to make sure that it audits and make sure that it reports to the public the findings.
Sometimes people say that politicians make lofty promises when they are campaigning, but when it gets to governance, it becomes different. What would be different? Assuming allies of yours, family members of yours, or people who are close to you, family members, are accused of corruption during your administration, Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this specifically?
I'm not coming new to government.
Right.
Although in different positions, I ran a public corporation that was credible. And I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start talking about family, to start talking about, I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
During the campaigning, you talked a lot about the country's youth, who are the majority of the population.
Yes.
Mr. President-elect, we know majority of them are unemployed, which some people say is a danger to the country's stability and peace. What plans do you have for the people of Liberia, especially the youth, in terms of job creation, in terms of having faith in moving the country forward? What do you have for them?
We came with a mantra that talked about, first we have a platform, and then we have in a brief platform that talks about arrest, meaning agriculture, roads, the rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. We believe these are areas in which we can jumpstart. And in those areas, we believe that our young people who are in the majority, they need to be equipped. We need to open opportunities for them to be trained and be marketable. We also have to make sure that the quality of education that will prepare them for the job market. But to do this, we have to be able to impress our partners and investors, the private sector investment, to make them feel that we are here for business, and this business, their investment will impact the young people, but the young people need to be trained. And we know that there are things that we can jumpstart that could bring the relief to the public. Like I have said, there is an outgoing government. There are a lot of areas in which we can begin to alleviate the suffering of the people. We're going to examine those areas, like where we know that the prices of commodities, essential commodities like rice and things, where we know that there have been some tariffs that we can work with right away, the petroleum products and some of these things here. We want to do those things that will begin to alleviate. But I have said that in the first 100 days, no car will get stuck in the mud. That means these critical road conditions, we lessen them, because once you improve the road, the travel, the prices of commodities, all of that have reflection. On the job market, we're going to be very cautious because people have a lot of expectations in government, but in government, we have to know what we're inheriting, and that's what the transition team is working with. I come with a knowledge and with experience and a commitment to make Liberia a different country, a country in which the young people, our women, will know that it is time for them to be relieved, and we come to make them know that, yes, it's not going to be an overnight thing, but we come with a serious commitment to make sure that we make life easier for them.
You talked about the women.
Yes.
Any plans for women empowerment in Liberia?
Very much so. And, I have worked with women. When I was vice president of Liberia, one of the areas in which a lot of my first few months were utilized were with the marketing association. I worked with them until we got them organized, until we got money to create a real LMA that will become independent. That's why you see that the government, with all their muscling, they can tamper with them. We made sure that there was a law firm that put together their constitution to protect them, that we provided money for them to get a business entity that put them together to teach them some business. And those areas where mostly women control. Beside that, we intend to bring on board women, capable women. And I want to say, we don't want any token relation. We want people who are competent and capable and deserve the positions they get. Gender issues have always been issues close to my heart. And if women involvement, we want to make sure that that is ensured. But I can tell you, the Liberians do understand where we're coming from. We want to make them know, we build a confidence that, yes, rescue is here, relief is here, but we have to move it at a level that we don't give any false assurances to anybody.
Let's look at the health system in Liberia. You mentioned it during your campaign. A lot of people say it's either non-existent or, Liberians would have to go to neighboring countries or even, southern part of the continent to go seek for medical attention. Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this? Because it's a serious issue.
I have worked with the health sector when I was in government, and you will see that we have Jamale, where now they do, people can go and do their examinations instead of going to Ghana. We have in mind to increase more of that on a regional basis to make sure that people can go somewhere instead of coming all the way to Monrovia to check there. A lot of people say the person just sat down and died. People don't just sit down and die. But that there will be possibilities that people will know at an early stage the condition of their health. Besides that, we want to open opportunities for all our hospitals and clinics to be functional. And when I say functional, there's a belief in a country that once you build a building, it's a clinic. Or once you build a building, it's a school. We want to make those things real, that when we build a hospital, it has the right people, and those people will be paid, the nurses, people, all who are responsible will be looked after. Because even those who look after people, they themselves need to be looked after.
But
we want to make them function.
That costs a lot of money. How do you plan to finance it?
It costs money. But let me tell you, Liberia is not working. Everything that we are doing, there have been a lot of work put in the health sector. How should it function? What we need in Liberia is implementation. We're not beginning as a new country. Everything is on paper. What we need is to make sure that we function according to those guidelines that have been set up. We implement those things that have been documented, they've experienced over the years. And I want to believe that we are not in there alone. There are partners who are anxious to see a government that is committed to make sure that these things function and that they are willing to work with us. Even as at now, we have made a lot of contracts already for medical supplies. I have been to Arizona, Project Q, they've given a container load of medical supplies. But we have to make sure that these things reach their proper destination, not ministers opening their private clinics, not people standing there along the way. So we are aware, and the system is in place. We have to implement what we said.
Mr. President-elect, you talked about Liberians taking Liberia back to where it should be. What do you mean by that? And how do you plan to do that?
Well, we say where it should be because everybody remembers the good old Liberia, but we have to understand that the good old Liberia had not always been the good old Liberia for all Liberians. So taking it back means that there are some things that we're working right that we need to, but we need to go further than that. Population has increased. Take Monrovia, for example. When it used to be 350,000 people, now it's over 1.5 million. And you know the social services are not there. We haven't coped with the social services. We have to make sure that we go back to where we were when things were good, but we have to see that situations have changed. For example, you take the city of Monrovia, there are no streets. Movement is difficult. The streets are filthy. The Liberians have seen that. And right now, this is why you have this mass movement where people are voluntarily going in the streets for cleaning. That means they know what's supposed to be, they are aware of it, but they need a leadership that will make them come back to recognize who they are and put a value on their lives.
Mr. President-elect, before we go, you talked about looking at how people voted during the last election, and analysts are telling me that it looks like the country is sharply divided. How do you plan to unite the country? And do you think there are any major takeaways from this recent elections, or what other countries can learn from the Liberian recent general election?
We want to thank the Liberians, including the outgoing president, for seeing the need. I did that before. And I think we all should know that we serve people, and that when the time comes for us to leave, we should leave gracefully. Everybody is commending Liberia for that. But at the same time, the Liberians themselves were looking for a change. They were committed to making sure. I'm reflecting on the night of the election. There are a lot of things that could have happened, and the Liberians stood to make sure they protected their votes. For me, this is saying to me, we are yearning for something that you said you gave us and we want it. And I believe this is the way it should go. When people want to change, give them the chance to choose their leader, and to make sure that we all support that. This is democracy, and I believe in it. And I want to say, we are here not to repeat those things that brothers yearning for this kind of change, but to make sure that we provide that leadership.
Thank you very much, Mr. President-elect, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Those who wrote the speech, I was so sorry the bishop should come. In inauguration day, everybody happy. We are rejoicing over the defeat of the old regime. We are rejoicing about our effort to bring a new regime. Then we're sitting down with happiness. You go write paper for that 79-year-old man. He's struggling to read. Then you go there, I will tell United Nations, I will tell US, I will bring 1 gram for you. Because you think 1 gram for you, Johnson? And by the time the old man was reading, when he got to the place,
the coming year. We must acknowledge the harsh reality that faces us as we report that the state of our nation is not one. It is important to note problems that confront us: poverty, drug epidemic, corruption, poor infrastructure, and underperforming economy. The current challenges present a unique opportunity to embark on a new journey of hope. This is our commitment to rescue the nation. Our vision. Our vision has revealed in arrest, ARREST, meaning agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. Shall guide preparation of our new medium-term national development plan. For the welfare of our people, we must harness opportunities in agriculture, roads, and other infrastructure development, improve the rule of law, rethink the education sector, improve sanitation, and
those people that we bring to cabinet are people of integrity. And secondly, want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known, the purpose of coming to government, to know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood on line, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear message, declare your asset, make sure that we are prepared to audit the outgoing government so that they tell the Liberian people of their stewardship, and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves. If they don't understand that, they actually fall where it may.
Mr. President, like you talked about asset declaration starting from yourself and the people who work with you, as well as the outgoing administration. How do you plan to avoid the semblance of targeting people? Because some people will say these are politically motivated to tarnish their reputation or to go against them, people from certain tribes or specific parts of the country. How do you plan to avoid this?
We are aware of that. And when we talk about auditing, it's not going to be a Liberian auditing. We want to make sure that our international partners work with us for a public tender, for competent and renowned auditing firm that will be qualified at an international level to make sure they come on board to do that. We are aware of people saying witch hunting, but I don't think it's witch hunting when you have to account for your stewardship, but it has to be done in a way that is well-established, entity with reputation, to make sure that it audits and make sure that it reports to the public the findings.
Sometimes people say that politicians make lofty promises when they are campaigning, but when it gets to governance, it becomes different. What would be different? Assuming allies of yours, family members of yours, or people who are close to you, family members, are accused of corruption during your administration, Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this specifically?
I'm not coming new to government.
Right.
Although in different positions, I ran a public corporation that was credible. And I can tell you that...
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon.
Okay, so folks, we want to say thanks for joining us tonight. Of course, this is the late night show. We're here again on another edition of the program. This is where we get to talk about the trending national issues affecting our country. The late night show is live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're live on Fabric 101.1 FM. We're live on Super 95.5 FM as well. We also live across the world. Spoon TV on Facebook, Fabric TV on Facebook, and Super TV on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and the handle is Spoon Talk Live. I want to say thanks to all of you who have joined us tonight. It's a good thing to be here. And of course, yes, let me appreciate the fact that you've made up time. You've taken up some of your time to join us tonight. It's going to be a fascinating show, great conversation coming up. And let me recognize a few of you here who have joined us tonight on the program. Let me recognize a few of you here as we try to get started tonight. Uh, Okay, so let's try to recognize a few of you. I see Senzi Dolly. You said you're watching. Thanks for joining us tonight. Cyrus, I see Cyrus Hill. Thanks for joining us. Stephen Kelly, thanks for joining us tonight. Afonso Kane, thanks for joining us. You said you're joining from California. That's uh Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks for joining us. So we appreciate all of you. Annie Flomo, thanks for joining us from Canada tonight. Eve Peters, thanks for joining us. We appreciate all of you for joining us. Kindly share the program as you come on tonight. Let's have a great show. Let's have a great conversation right here tonight on the late night show. And of course, we're here. And again, thanks to all of you who have joined us. It's always great coming up here to talk about the issues. And as most of you are aware, lots of things happening in the country. Um, Nominations are being made. At the same time, you have confirmation hearings going on. Folks are being, some of the nominees have already been confirmed. And of course, there are a couple of confirmation going on. Well, today we can say to you that in the face of everything that's going on with respect to confirmation hearings and some confirmation going on, there are some people, a lot of time we want to go back to about this time, 26 years ago, at about this time, there were people who were in the photo, people were in the picture. Someone says photo. There were people who were in the photo and everything was, very okay. And some people disappeared from the photo, until it got to a point where someone had to make some music about that. But we see there are people having different conversations in the street corners about the process, the nominations, and everything that are going on. But it's great to be here tonight. We're gonna have a great show. I want to welcome all of you. Thanks for joining us. Let me quickly move on to recognize to bring in some of our crew members. Let me bring in some of our team members. Let me bring in Mr. Prince Bay. Thanks. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, and good morning to you.
Your audio is doing well tonight. I know which side you passed on tonight.
I knew you were going to say something.
And another thing, your camera is not shaking that much tonight. I must commend you for that. I don't know how you did the setup, but it's pretty good tonight.
I'm off tonight. So I'm watching. I'm on the show from home.
Okay, that's great. I think that setup looks very good. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining us. I'm still hearing something in the background, like this spoon song is playing. Let me try to. Okay, I think this is where it's coming from. Yeah. So let me let me bring let me bring in Francis. Francis, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you on the show.
Yeah, good to be with you guys, man. Good morning to our folks in Liberia. Good evening and good afternoon wherever you are. It's good to be back.
To discuss the people issues.
Yeah, so certainly. So we're gonna bring the rest of the guys on, but again, lots of things happening in the country. Well, confirmations were being, the hearings were being held today. Uh, the police IG designate,
Great.
Gregory Kumo, went through his nomination today. He went through his confirmation hearing today, rather. And we also saw that the um, DEA boss, LDES, the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency boss, designate Abraham Krumah, had his hearing today. The Commerce Minister designate Mr. Ami Moda, former chairman of the Unity Party, had his own confirmation hearing today. And yes, a lot has been going on. There are different activities happening all across the country based on the political heat. At this point, it's not much about opposition and ruling establishment. No, it's about after that opposition and ruling establishment fight, it has now gotten to the stage where it's more about what's in it for me. you know, how is this thing going to work?
I was in a photo.
Yeah, am I even going to be in the photo? Some people, but there are some people who don't have time for the photo stuff. They just want to see this thing work. They want to see the system do better for everyone. Yes, and why that is going on, there are others who are on the other side who got defeated and they want to make a comeback, and they are playing the cards to ensure that things are destabilized. And at this point, it doesn't matter who gets affected in the process, but yes, you want to have a reason after 6 years to tell the people that I am the best alternative. So this is where we are. I just want you guys to quickly say what's on your mind, then we move to our a discussion for tonight. We're not going to be on long. We're hoping to have a very short show tonight. So let's start with you, Prince. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, what's on my mind today is hardly from across the world, which is Nairobi, Kenya. I had a disaster in Nairobi today. Over 300 plus human beings is affected. Some of them are in the hospital, and the life-threatening condition is very hard for them today. It happened in Nairobi, so I really, really feel for the Kenyans right now. What is going on in Nairobi, Kenya? I pray to God for His strength on the citizens of that country to bring them some green light. And for our country, Liberia, what I really foresee is that my own leader, Mr. Prince Johnson, because all kind of rumor going all around the country now, all around the city, the town, that old Prince Johnson not satisfied, and then people talking about the Queen King, the Nima Ray King, all the scenario then. The time of war in Liberia is over. Let me get send a signal to, especially for we in the Bidens. The time for war in our country is over. Liberia moving ahead right now. If you check on social media, you see Patawi Waterfall. Everybody, everyone on social media, it's just booming, just booming, just booming. We're trying to focus on something to better the citizens of that country and itself. Not but talking about somebody doing this, they may not doing this. I will say this today. Nelson, Senator Johnson, you're a nice man, you're a good man, but believe me.
You're raising a very important point, but I want us to dance around a little bit. Okay. This whole Prince Johnson thing.
It gets too much.
Going back to the previous administration during the campaign time, even before we got at that point of campaign,
right.
One of the major reasons why Senator Prince Johnson withdrew his support from the CDC and decided to pledge his support to the United Party was because he felt that the CDC disappointed him.
Mm-hmm.
during the campaign or whatever, before the heat, the political heat, or on the second round or whatever, they went behind closed door. They sat, they had meetings, they had very good discussions. Some promises were made to him as a political leader of a particular institution, political institution. And then when they made the agreement, okay, we will do this, everything happened. At the end of the day, when the CDC won the election, according to Senator Prince Johnson, the CDC did not live up to that promise. Now, let's follow the trend. CDC did not live up to the promise. CDC promised Senator Prince Johnson some ministries and agencies and all of that and other things in the background. We were not there when they had those discussions.
It came up.
But they say the best time to know what's happening between the two bullies is when things fall apart.
Right.
So things fell apart, Liberians got to know. And because of that, he didn't support them.
Right.
What happened? They lost Nimba and they lost the election. Now, this Prince Johnson pledged his support to the Unity Party.
Correct.
The Unity Party won the election, won Nimba County, and won the election. We are at a stage where the promises or the discussions, those conversations behind closed doors, those negotiations that went on, especially during the second round, we are at the stage where those promises or agreements are supposed to be implemented. And from the way things are going, Prince, and again, I come back to your point, is there any reason to believe that Senator Prince Johnson is not happy? Now, because talk about justice, the justice minister, Councillor Cooper Kurat.
Right.
He was mentioned in Senator Prince Johnson's comment before this time that CDC promised them so many ministries. They gave them one, Oakley Post and Telecommunication and blah, blah, blah. Who was the Minister of Post and Telecommunication? Councillor Cooper Kurat. Who has been nominated as Justice Minister today? Councillor Cooper Kurat.
Right.
Right? So from everything that's happening, his daughter is being nominated as well. All right. So for everything that's happening, is there any reason to believe that Senator Prince Johnson is not happy? Prince.
Right. Yeah. Nelson, the senator is not happy. I'll be real with you. When you know,
think so?
Yeah, senator is not happy because from the way Senator Johnson addressed President Bwaka last Sunday, it was too diminishing. Why I say that? Because of war and economic crime court in the nation of the address said by the president. So that's the reason why you're getting so frustrated? No. Anybody put you over there?
Listen, Prince, again, we will come to our brother here. He's now a spectator. He'll have to make a point. But with everything we see going on, Prince,
because the
is there any reason to buy into this debate that Senator Prince Johnson is not happy?
He's not happy. Nothing. First thing first, Honorable Cooper Crack was nominated to justice as justice.
Yeah.
That won the place, Prince Johnson, the senator won. Justice ministry. Now you got justice ministry. Why are you not happy? Why murmuring going all over the place? In the counties, in the districts then? Why? Talking about Nima Ray, talking about Kuyokpa. Those things are not necessary right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Because obviously, if you say you want certain ministry, if for example, look at those that was even in the vanguard before even the second round. The typical unity partisan, they stay behind. They stay in the scene that people don't even see them yet.
Okay, we're going to come back to that discussion. Prince, we're going to come back to that discussion.
To you, or to the MGR. Okay, you want justice. Okay, so let's start with justice first. He's competent, he's capable, he can deliver. Okay, so we're pointing there. So why are you annoyed? He's talking about Senator young man trying to bring war crime. Come on. Senator, you should have gone for that stage now. For real.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We're going to come to that discussion. That's a very important discussion there. But let's hear from you, Francis. Anything? What's on your mind? Just
Yeah,
before
what's on
we.
my mind is pretty much this topic that was on Spoon Talk earlier today about the nominee for Internal Affairs. I think Francis something was his name from Lofa County. Um,
Francis Akila Nimali.
yeah, the guy they're talking about. Oh, he was having that outburst during the campaign time, talking about I'm a rebel. He was going to hurt somebody else and stuff like that. But now it's just hypocritical. And Liberians, we get what we deserve. Ellen Johnson, 12 years, 2 terms as president. Yaka Kolobala call himself a former rebel. He's a representative. Prince Johnson, a rebel, former rebel that committed a war crime. He got 27 years as a senator. And he also the chairman of Internal Affairs. Then we also turn around and a convicted felon who served 2 terms, 2 years in prison, representative, deputy speaker, and now speaker of the house, will put him as the number 3 person in the country. And Liberians are saying, whether you are a criminal or not, we don't care what the international community says. We will do exactly what we want to do, but we're going to beg the international community to take care of us. It doesn't work that way. So I'm saying all of this to mean that you cannot be doing things to hurt yourself and ask people to stop you from hurting yourself. Liberians need to wake up. We need to stop this thing about, that the person we want, that who we want. So I just name all these people that these rebels, these people that brought war to the country that should have no place in government. No place in government, even sanctioned officials. We put them there. They want to sit here and talk about Prince Johnson not happy. Who cares Prince Johnson happy? He should be happy that the War Crime Court hasn't come here. It's not only for Prince Johnson. There are a lot of people in that country that will appear in front of that court. But we said that we reward bad behavior. Today, God forbid, should anything happen to the president and the vice president elect? I mean, the president and the vice president right now? Fanati Kofa is president. So we tell the whole world, we know there's corruption everywhere. We know there's criminals everywhere. But no decent country in the world look at criminals, look at felons, and say you can be president. But Liberia say, we not care. We beg you to support us, but the criminal, the person who's a felon, we will make that person president. Fanati Kofa run for election today, people will vote for him. That's how backwards we are in Liberia. You made Yeke Koloba representative. You made Prince Johnson senator. You got all of these criminals. You made Eddie Johnson 2-term president in Liberia there. Then we sit here and we say we're serious people. I'm not happy about that guy that the President Baga nominated as Internal Affairs Minister. That's a big deal because he is going to be representing our country. So maybe the president did not know. So if he did not know about that incident, if that's the only character in his closet, the president should come back and withdraw his nomination. And this is a breath of fresh air. I hear people talking about, what happened to this government? They said they are going to be responsible, blah, blah, blah. But this is what happened when you try to be responsible. Unlike the gangster government that George Weah and other people, the bird nest kind of government where you can fly in and fly out that George Weah and other people were running, where it was just smooth sailing because it doesn't matter who they appoint. People don't care. But now you have a responsible man in Joseph Boakai administration that's trying to do the right thing. So there will be friction. He opened his government to be scrutinized. Not the judge who didn't care. I will throw.
I know you want to go to the George Weah government. You want to start from there. You want to start comparing the both governments. You want to start maybe beating on George Weah and maybe
that's not even that. That's not even that.
To,
I'm not even trying to go to George Weah.
And that's a whole different argument all by itself. But let's come to this. You go to the MDR, into the MDR. First of all, we know that there are political parties that formed, that came together to form the alliance, right? The alliance. The CDC, despite her popularity, could not win election by herself alone as a Congress for democratic change. No, she had to go into some sort of coalition, bringing MPP and all those people, LPDP, and she won. Similarly, the Unity Party, despite everything, 12 years ruling establishment, could not win any seat until she went and formed an alliance. The Liberty Party broke apart. Portion of
But
the
let's
Liberty Party.
make it hold to a point. You know why? For the 12 years, I already know. Because the reason why the 12 years, after the 12 years, the next 6 years, Unity Party could have won it again. But because of the selfishness of Madame Salih. Go ahead.
Forget Madame Salih factor. Forget the EJS factor. But the point I'm making is those parties that have ruled, that have governed, they've always leaned on somebody. They've always rested or joined forces or formed some sort of collaboration to be able to get the kind of victory that they've all desired. Right? So, as popular as President George Weah was before, as a football or soccer star before coming to politics, he didn't get to win it by himself. All right? As popular as Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was, what's the party? Vani, what do you call it? Vani Sherman. What's the name of the party? Restoration, was it? Liberia Restoration. The name of this party is escaping me. But that's the party is represented by that chicken, the rooster in the Unity Party logo and stuff like that. They had to go into that collaboration. So that speaks to how important all of those political parties are. So you go into the MDR, for example. Part of the Unity Party Alliance, you have the MDR, you have Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti's party, African Liberation League, you have Apeton's GDM. Don't overlook all these parties. You have the what was the name of the other party? Madela Cooper's Liberia, I think Restoration Party. Liberia Action. Liberia Restoration Party or so of Madela Cooper. You have all those parties.
You jump into something else. Let me just wrap it up.
I know you are about to come in, but the point I'm driving at is all these political parties play a significant role. They play their own roles. They brought their own people on board. But if you look at what's happening now, if we are taking into consideration political parties that have benefited as of yet, considering all the names that are coming out, the MDR have benefited more. And so I go back to that question about, is there any reason as to whether there's any reason for Senator Prince Johnson to be unhappy at this time?
That's what I want to reason I gave you. Go ahead, brother.
Martin, I don't even like the question even about Prince Johnson happiness. It gets to my bone. It annoys me. Especially when seeing that disrespectful clip that came from him. As a man that's supposed to be sitting down quietly trying to show remorse to the people that he took away their parents, their daughters, their wives, their families. And he's saying, the war be over. That was disrespectful and a slap to the faces of those people. But I'm just trying to say we deserve everything we get as Liberians. Our mindset will never change. We always run to tribal lines and things like that. Liberia is Liberia. We may have 16 different languages and things like that, but we are one Liberia. We need to change our mindset because at the end of the day, we'll run back to the international community. And the international community do not want to do business with criminals. So if we sit down and say, I don't care, I want Natal Magé, who is on a sanction. I want Prince Johnson, he protect Nima. I want Yeka Kolba for District 10. I want all these rebels and all these, like somebody just mentioned the Congressman George Bolin, also too, that's a senator. We reward all these bad people. All these people that are criminals. They shouldn't be anywhere near government. Nowhere near government. And that's the problem with us. It needs to stop.
Thank you. Prince, coming quickly so we make a quick transition.
Yeah, so Nelson, after you what you just said, is that NGR got more people than a bulk of the different parties. You didn't even hear about Apeta party yet. You didn't even hear about Madela Copa party yet. So you think best man, that only how we're talking about right now from her party. You understand? So that alone should give you the mind that, hey, the old man or President Walker is living up to his promise. That we went behind closed door and discussed, and he said, you know what? The ministers you want, we'll look into it and we'll give it to you if we win the election. Now you got on ministries. So why you getting annoyed? Are you the only person that fought war in Liberia? No. Even some other the country, we still fight war indirectly because we supported people who are there, who are feeding. Indirectly, we supported them. You understand? So for you wait, let the war crime, economic crime court come in the country. Just one president just said, because Liberians, I don't know, because we're not educated, that's the reason why the mindset of the Liberians, that's what killing us. That is what killing us in our country.
Thank you. Marie, thanks for joining us. I want to appreciate you. And
Thank you.
I think some of the folks were backstage, but yes, we're going to bring them on. But this is serious. Marie, considering everything that's happening now, appointments, nominations, and everything going on from the different political parties, the Unity Party, or Alliance, those different political parties that join the Unity Party in the struggle. With this discussion about Senator Prince Johnson not being happy, is there any reason why the MDR or Senator Prince Johnson should not be happy at this time?
Absolutely not, Nelson. I believe that the president is very much cooperating with the MDR, working with them. CDC was built on lies, and the problem with CDC right now is that they're not getting that narrative that they sold to the people during the election time, the campaign process, that Prince Johnson will be running the government for Honorable Barker, because they are not getting that narrative. So they're trying to put a picture out there to make it seem like, the two parties are not working together. But I believe they are working together. Having 2 to 3 positions in a government, major positions for that matter, should be enough, should be considered as being cooperative. I don't think the person have to have half of the government, because that is the aim for the former ruling parties, so that they can push that narrative now and say, we told you guys that Prince Johnson was going to run the government, and now that is exactly what's going on. So we won't buy what they're selling, because we that are aligned with the Unity Party, we're not naive people.
And Mary, you think this is coming from outside? You think the CDC or some opposition is trying to play this card? You think so?
Oh yes, they are. They are the one pushing that narrative that
let's go
Prince
back to this
Johnson is
video.
not happy, and
let's go back to this video.
Both parties are
Let's
not
go back to this
cooperating.
video. Let's go back to the video a bit, Mary.
Those who wrote the speech, I was also on the bishop of Sunkam. In November, everybody happy. We are rejoicing over the defeat of the old regime. We are rejoicing about our effort to bring a new regime. Then we're sitting down with happiness. You go write paper for that 79-year-old man. He's struggling to read. Then before that, I will tell the United Nations, I will tell the US, I will bring 1 gram for you. Because you think 1 gram for Prince Johnson? And by the time the old man was reading, when he got to the page,
that latter portion is not our issue, right? The issue is this Senator Prince Johnson we're talking about. Some people say he's happy. Some people say no, he's not. And others think that this whole narrative about Senator Prince Johnson not being happy is coming from the opposition. When you listen to this senator on his pulpit, where he stands to have his press conferences and is preaching everything all at once, and the point he's pushing beyond just the war crimes code. He's more concerned about the war crimes code, the way people are pushing it. But when you listen to this senator, he sounds like someone who has issues with certain elements within the very camp that he supported. So he said You wrote a speech. You wrote a speech and gave it to a 79-year-old man, blah, 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 and the rest is history. So the statement comes across as someone who thinks that there are individuals within that establishment he supports who are pushing this issue of war crimes court because they want to get at him. I mean, I may be wrong on this. What do you think, Marie? Does this senator sound or appear in a way happy?
Let me just say this. I believe it's impossible to make Prince Johnson and the NDR happy. What Honorable Braga can do is cooperate and work with them as much as he can, because you have a lot of other parties that are aligned. The amount of parties that aligned to get this victory was a lot. And, given our positions, Prince Johnson have one of the most popular county, and if possible, anyway, he want everybody in his county to get a job. So it's impossible to make him happy. Now, with that being said, you can work with somebody, cooperate with them based on the friendship you guys build and what you guys align with when the election was going on. But it doesn't mean you have to allow that person to determine your decisions. Prince Johnson can choose to be vest if he wants to. He can describe the president's speech as unnecessary if he wants to. But he needs to remember that he's not going to be blamed when Honorable Braga fails. It's Braga that's going to be blamed. And during the campaign process, he himself came on spoon. If I stand to be corrected, or it was a video call. And he stated that he's willing for war crime and economic crime to come in. He said he's willing. He said even he wants to know who killed his people in Nimba. He wants the war and economic crime code to come in. The vice president himself came on the platform and acknowledged that. So it's not going to be a mere campaign talk, because they said it during the campaign. So it should be all said and done right now. Right now is the time for Honorable Braga to implement everything that he said during the campaign process. And it doesn't matter if there are some enemies that come along the way because they don't feel the same way.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Mobile, welcome to the show. You want to weigh in your thoughts on this quickly? We take Francis next, and then we make a quick transition.
Well, on the Walker Code issues?
No. Senator Prince Johnson, this narrative that the senator is not happy, despite having supported the Unity Party throughout the struggles. He feels that he's not happy. The way things are going on, he feels that the MDR, as one of those political parties, is not getting the share of the cake that she should be getting. And there are some who think that this narrative or this is a propaganda coming from the opposition, the CDC precisely.
Raymond, I think I'm gonna say Raymond. Sorry, Nelson. I think it's a propaganda to me. I don't want to believe it because, first of all, the vice president for NIMA is one of the key positions in the country, second to the president of the Republic of Liberia, and then with all what we're hearing, hearing about the justice minister position, which of course. They are still doing some vetting and investigations against the allegation against the justice minister from Nimba. But if so, we can just come out probably and say because Prince Johnson not get all the positions, so he's angry. I think within my mind, Prince Johnson is angry.
Okay.
But sometimes we see Prince Johnson talking like that. I think he's talking about the war crime code. Because people keep pushing it on him like the hitting with war crime code. But then you get to realize that the whole war crime code issue starts from the horse. It not start from the president or even the justice minister. You understand? So with him, I think Prince Johnson angry, let him lead the ball as the ball is the ball playing that he play. But I believe with him myself, the justice minister let me conclude by saying that the justice minister who JMB
Yeah,
selected,
nominated. Yeah.
nominated to be a justice minister for the Republic of Liberia, he'll be confirmed. He'll be like, even he said that they call him. I mean, they call him to order. They want to test on investigation. I think all these things that man blocked, but end of the day, he'll be confirmed. Because I see
Thank
nothing
you.
for me. I see nothing on him that can, that can stop him from being the justice minister of the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you. Francis, you want to weigh in your thoughts quickly? Then we transition to our next discussion.
Yeah, I mean, Prince Johnson is relevant because what the presidents before Barker did nothing for the country. They didn't develop the country, and he comes from one of this, I think, the second largest populated country, and I mean county, and the second, I think, the upcoming county as when it comes to development and things like that. People talk about Nigh has been developed. A lot of people there, opportunities. So he has this hold on Nima, and we talk about education. Our people perish for lack of knowledge. So they sit in Nima, they hail him as a godfather and keep electing him. That's the fact that they can look at our rebel leader and constantly elect him. That's our problem. But if Joseph Boga want to clip his wing, want to clip on his wing, develop the country. When Liberia people are enjoying, they don't care about anybody else. They look at the person that making it to enjoy. So clip his wing by developing the country, and let's see if he'll be godfather or if he'll be kingmaker. Then he will sit on there and see if he can talk about it angry or not.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, today we saw the confirmation hearing of three nominees. The IG designate, the police IG designate, Gregory Kuma, and we also saw Colonel A.B. Kuma, the LDA boss designate, and Mr. Ami Moda. But something very interesting happened at the Capitol today. The first thing is, during this confirmation hearing, the LDEA boss, Abraham Krumah, the director of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency designate, he said this in a quote. He said, I intend to increase the salary of LDEA officers to $400 United States dollars in a bid to adequately fight drugs. And moving on, he committed himself to the fight as in line with the rescue agenda and blah blah blah. That's the rest of the story. But key amongst many things he said today, he said that increasing the salary of drugs, the people that are fighting drugs in the country, the LDEA officers, will be a smart move to adequately clamp down on the use of illicit drugs in the country. He thinks, A.B. Krumah thinks, that one of the ways drugs can be fought, one of the ways that the LDA officers will not be compromised is when their salaries are increased. Guys, does this in any way guarantee a successful fight against drugs? Okay, let's assume, or let's take this at let's take it from this level. The current LDA officers, they make anything, I mean, the least of $150. That's the minimum wage in the country, $150. So, assuming Honor A.B. Krumah's administration at the LDEA, the least man there is making $400 United States dollars. He says that action or that move will create a situation where those people will not easily be compromised. Does this guarantee this fight? Is it in any way going to help this fight? Let's assume the salary is increased to $400 United States dollars, the least. Is that going to guarantee any Liberian out there that those people will not easily be compromised? Let's talk about this decision a bit. Then we'll go to the lawmakers' action today, where we'll show you the video where they were committing himself to some drug test today. But let's start with Shirley. Welcome to the show. Let's start with Prince on this one. Mary, you want to go?
No, I don't want to go for it. I just want to ask you, do you happen to know the salary for the police as well? So I can just make, because I would like to make some comparison.
I think the police make 150 though.
So
The
same
minimum
thing, right?
wage, yeah, the minimum wage in Liberia is $150. All right, yeah, $150 per month, not 2 weeks, because some of y'all done like can take pay after every 2 weeks. Let me tell
Is it not 2 weeks? I know.
now 4 weeks is talking about $150 for 4 weeks, just so you know.
29 days.
but yes, Prince, go ahead. Let's start the conversation from there. What do you think? Is this a smart move? Do you see this as the right way to start the fight against drugs? Should this statement from him today be considered as a smart one, something that should even get the lawmakers considering him for that position?
Well, Nelson, for me, I don't think that is smart. That's a smart move. Because first thing first, all the officers within the DEA, they are Silver 7. They are Silver 7. So if the final ministry, along with Silver 7, the Silver 7 agency come out with the minimum wage to go up for all security apparatus. That is the police, immigration, the NSA, Triple S, and so forth. If the salary is 500, it will be 500. That's number one. So I don't want him to go with that scenario that, hey, Nelson, you can give me $500. I'm begging one day, give me $500. Anything that part of me as an agent.
No, I know. You say you will keep doing it. Once a part of you, you will keep doing it. But again, let's consider the argument from this point. The lawmaker, for example. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right, first, what I expect AB to do, because he already know the city. AB knows the city like a ABC. I'll be real with you. That I can commend him on that, because I interacted with him on many occasions. Just how I interacted with Gregory Kuma, be my personal friend. But the thing there is this, right? The source. I don't care if you don't know the sources, where it's coming from. That's another issue. So my thing,
the source of what? The source of what?
The drugs, where it comes from. That's number one. How is it getting the country? That's number two. Then in fighting it, the whole DEA, right? The LDEA, right? When he gets there, there should be a real complete centralization and revamp the whole team.
So are you dismissing this whole idea of an increase in LDA officers' salary? You think it's not going to contribute towards that fight? You think so?
Nothing. You can tell the lawmakers that, hey, LDA is different from police, different from NSA, different from immigration. What I'm saying is that if CSA come out with final ministry that, hey, this year security budget is 100 million, let's assume, right? Will be divided between all the security apparatus. That will be that. I mean, this will be that within all the security apparatus. Now, maybe LDA will be someone will be making 400 or 500 or more than that. Now you say 450. Let's assume you say 450.
So your point is the budget should be increased. You think the budget should be increased?
The budget should be increased, but
for security.
Again, because they are Silver 7. Anything Silver 7 do, it will reflect on them. That's my concern. It will reflect on them. So don't come to the legislature first by saying, oh, I want us to increase the salary of the LDA. No. First thing first, you be telling the lawmakers, the first thing first I need to do is that the entire LDA I'm coming to meet, I will have a real shuffle among them.
Thank you. Thank you, Prince. Let's hold you there and take Francis. Okay, Marie, please go ahead. Sorry, Francis. Let's take Marie. Okay, you want to take? Okay, Francis, go. She's
okay. Yeah, for me, I completely disagree with Prince on the aspect because when it comes, I'm not just looking at this from LDA or DEA versus police and stuff. There's something called incentives.
Yeah.
We need competent and well-trained and good people who are coming for the right reason. You cannot be paying, asking somebody to lay their life on the line, paying $150 a month, and that money is not even guaranteed. First of all, let me just put it out. Even the nominee cannot guarantee any increase for his folks. He doesn't draft the budget for people, so he can say he's going to increase their salary. But it's a good idea if their salary can be increased, because that will attract competent, educated people that are coming with the will to want to do the right thing, but they're also looking at, okay, I can come here and do the right thing, but my family is taken care of. My kids are going to school. I can afford to pay my rent on a monthly basis and things like that. So across the board, all security apparatus that they should get paid good, because you want the best. You should incentivize those people. So
okay.
I do agree.
So, Francis, let me ask you this question: does high pay or does good incentive in any way reduce or minimize the corruption rate in any system?
No. That alone doesn't. But as a leader, you use incentive to encourage good behavior.
Okay, thank you. Let me hold you there. No, before you come in with your example, Francis, I'll hold you there. Before, no, Prince, I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. I want to ask Francis one question. Francis, how much does a lawmaker make in Liberia?
I mean, you guys talk about those guys make anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 a month. I don't know the exact figure.
7,500.
And minus incentives, right? That doesn't include incentives.
Incentives, yeah, incentives, everything up to maybe you be talking about 8,000, 9,000 to 10,000.
Exactly.
You know, but that's not my point. That's not my point.
Okay, what's the point?
Lawmakers make a little over 7,000 in Liberia, right?
Yeah.
And lawmaker that one Liberian.
Yeah.
Now, police officer or LDEA officer, the same one Liberian makes 150, 175, 200, depending on their rank, their assignment, and all different other things involved. So, if the lawmakers make 7,000, or let's just say 5,000, let's go by the Dillonization of the figure. Let's say 5,000. I can manage in 5,000. And in the midst of in that very system where you're talking about 5,000, there is still corruption to a point where one of the lawmakers was heard calling, even the president was also heard saying that there's a need for that branch, that system to be audited. What guarantees you that 400 will handle or massively deal with corruption when 5,000 or 7,000 cannot deal with corruption on the other hand?
Okay, let me give you tell you how it works. When you make something attractive, you draw people in. The incentive keep them there, and also too, as a leader, I'm now paying you guys well according to Liberia standard.
Yeah.
So now I expect a lot from you. If you mess up, you receive disciplinary action and you lose your job. And now people will say, this money, we got this increase. We are receiving our pay on a consistent basis. I will do what I need to do. I will do my job. I will do my best because I do not want to lose my job. But if you don't pay people come work for 6 months, you ask them to put their lives on the line, they don't get paid. Yes, there'll be corruption, even in the house. Unfortunately, guys, in the legislature, They're a separate branch of government. They govern themselves. So nobody can come and say, oh, we're going to cut your pay. That's the reason why they do the things that they do. And there's no oversight on them because they don't care. That's the thing.
Okay.
They just don't care. You know how I feel about how much they make. It's not a secret how I'm disgusted about how much those guys make. And you have people like police don't have cars. You have hospitals don't have drugs. And nothing in the country. But those guys make between the 103 people or 130 people, whatever that number is, they receive millions of dollars every year. Over $1 million every year just going to those corrupt crooks over there. But the people that are actually doing the work that respond when we say somebody break into our house that they can better get there, they don't even get paid for coming. So that's a disrespect to those people. But if you give them good, you pay them and you give them a reason to work. And the threat of losing their jobs and even facing jail time if they are corrupt or commit crime in the line of duty, they will do their job. Nobody is perfect. Nothing guarantees and is guaranteed. But people will do their job if you incentivize them.
So you think the 400 increasing the LDA officers' money to 400, you think it's going to help?
It's a lot better than 150 and you don't even get it on time. 400, but it should come on time. I don't even care even if it's 300, but let the people know that every month, thinking that mobile money should sound every month it should sound.
Thank you.
But you can treat them like slaves.
Thank you. We want to go to you. Yeah, okay, Prince, you want to make a quick point? Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Francis, what I was saying is this: you cannot just ask the lawmaker to just increase LDA salary. No. What I was coming from is that they are civil servant. It's not like ministers that was appointed by the president. No, they are civil servant. The ministers that are appointed by the president, they are not civil servant. They are president appointees. So the difference from civil servant. So when the finance minister regulates, say, this in this budget, the fiscal year, we got X amount of money for security personnel that goes around the country. And if you're a sergeant or you're private, you're going to meet this level, or we pay you in line with your qualification. That's another thing. I will not say that $450 is not better. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't say you said that. No, I only disagree with the fact that you say it will not help. The increase in that pay will not make a difference. That's why I'm disagreeing.
Thank you, guys.
I said if this man is in jail already, you give me $450, right? When I even get a motorbike, they just to go sell. Motorbike bring me over $10,000. What the $450 can do to you? It can do nothing to me.
The $450 and also the threat of jail time if you are caught with corruption, the oversight, the accountability.
Thank you. Let's go, you guys. There, I know you and I agreed. You and I have the same position on this. So we have to move to Mary. Are you ready to come on, or we move to? Okay, so go ahead.
Thank you, Nelson. I didn't get to hear or watch the hearing. But what I can say is that, first of all, I want to congratulate Honorable Ibrahim Nkrumah and applaud him for, the thought to raise the salary of his coming employees. That shows that he's going to be a good leader. I won't agree that that's going to alleviate corruption within the LDEA. But what I can say is that for people that put their life on the line every day, Liberia had one of the worst security sectors right now. That's why, we're not really exceeding as we would want to, because of the lack of security in the country. I think the security apparatus should be paid, attention to. 150 is nearly not enough for somebody that's putting their life on the line. Okay, 150 is not enough at all for them. But Ibrahim Nkrumah, he has his own security company right now. And I think he's speaking from a successful perspective because he run his security company, and based on the success that he got from there, he know that although this may not alleviate the corruption entirely, but it will help towards it. But what I did expect to hear from him today was how he will do some form of internal investigation just to take the bad apples out of the good apples, and see how best he can um put a structure in place and ask for fundings that would give him the proper equipment that he will be successful in his service. So I applaud him. I think the raise is necessary because we have government officials that go to work 3 times and make 120 some more thousand plus a year. That's not even necessary, plus incentive. So there's no reason why a man that's putting his life on the line should be paid 150 a month. So I think that's necessary. But if the 400 payment changes is going to happen, I think he will have to
Thank you.
use the amount of security officers in the LDEA to the best ones that can serve Liberia.
Thank you, Mary. Let's hear from you, Moba, and then we'll move to Shirley.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you. First of all, in the whole war, like I'm not even talking about Liberia, right? In the whole war, nobody get money for service people like security. They don't have money to pay security. Because imagine you taking your life for another person, right? So let's put that one side about the money issue. You understand? So that money is, even when they say 500, 700 is small. What I expect for our big brother, I'm Abraham Kumar, right?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Abraham Kumar. I want him, although they might increase the salary, but they might also increase the benefit. And my brother Francis alluded certain thing, and I walk in line with him. I agree with him 100%. When you give all these benefit to all those people who work in the LDA, right? And you pull a very caveat, a law down, very strong that if we catch you with drugs or even in cohort, anybody doing drugs, and we investigate, you are found guilty, you're losing everything and you're going to jail. Now, let's say from 5 to 10 years. I think within my mind, it will work. Because we're looking at the money. It sounds so big in Liberia, but it's small. But at the end of the day, with that money coming with heavy incentive and coming with a lot of benefit, like school for the children, medical benefit for the children, everything. The school is free because now we believe that the government school, will be one of the best school now in Liberia. I understand that there are a lot of funding that will be available for the government school, and it will put that people will get lab classes. School will be everything will be like better when it comes to the education sector for the government schools, right? So their children get a free education while they're paying no school fee, and they got a good benefit on medication. I mean, hospital medication, health benefit, all the issues that come along with it, and you find out that everything that people doing or they will be doing to save our country from drugs, it will work. It will work. Commitment. You understand? It's not everything. People will come in and say the money big, the money small. But end of the day, if the law that my brother friends alluded to, if the law being put to place and it coming with a huge benefit and they're making $400, that would the other people, other security sector, like their leader can go and talk for them and come on the board.
Francis struck a very important point.
Yes.
He said that, I don't know if it was Francis or
I didn't Francis.
He said that the fight against drugs is a serious one, because and he doesn't subscribe to that 400 salary increase increment because he thinks it's not going to help the fight. And his point was someone okay, Prince, someone who has been compromised can maybe going to call with the dealer or whatever, just a single deal they will cross, that person will be getting thousands of dollars.
Nelson, let me tell
Thousands
you.
of dollars.
Nelson,
So if the idea is to avoid those people from being compromised, then he thinks that it's not going to work, because if the man is already compromised, if he's an officer of the DA and he has his network out there, that behavior, that ethical practice is giving him thousands of dollars. So he thinks that even the 400 is not going to work at all.
listen, Nelson, let me come in. Let me lay on it, right?
Yeah.
You see, even in the United States, like in New Jersey, 2 or 3 years ago, they caught a lot of police officers. Since shady deed, prostitution, all the stuff. And it was served at J10 because they worked for the government. And they were in the government uniform and they carried that type of clandestine act. Now, in Liberia, right, let we put security on security when it comes to the just issue. If the people get benefit, right, if the people get a type of huge benefit, if the people being paid, let's say $400 or $50 or $300 United States dollar, that money coming all the time, that health insurance is not like, it's straight. They're getting that health benefit in full package, right? And they're getting their children going to free school, right? Look, let me tell you, it's a huge responsibility right there. It's a huge cost. So, and then the just enforcement, which is our people, Abraham Kuma, can come up with a own memo. Oh, yes, this is it. If anybody breach this contract, when we catch you, now that thing we're going to do, you see, police men all in the ghetto smoking with people, no. Even when we catch you, when we hear it, that investigation, when we hear it, because everywhere you see smoke, fire there. When we hear the person doing so thing, when April Kuma come out with that type of caveat, right? And he said that basically, and when we hear, we investigate, when you found guilty, guess what? You're set at J10. And when you come out of jail, you're not working no security entity because it will be on your record. When we start doing the things, all the other things will follow.
Thank you, sir.
You see
Thank
people
you.
who working. You think all the people in the LDEA want to be in court with the men are selling drugs? How much money for you will spoil your entire family? So don't put the money being on one side, but don't look at if the people can get paid on time, $400 to get medical benefit, and their children going to free school. You will see the effect. You will see how the LDA will work to tackle drugs in our country.
Let's
say yes.
There.
What you say,
Let's
brother,
go
is
there.
true.
Let's go there. Prince, I see you want you. Was it? Princess wanted to make a quick point.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
I just want to say the Prince. Nobody saying increasing will eliminate corruption. Even in the great United States, there are still people in the ATF or the SWAT or the anti-drug folks that get busted for drug issue. And these people, do they mispay? They don't mispay. But what we're saying, it's not even a law because it's already there. If you are a member of the DEA, you commit crime, you go to jail. If you can be, but are they enforcing these rules? And how can they even enforce the rules? You're not paying somebody, the person is okay, no, I quit. Why would you do that to that person? I'm not getting paid for 6 months. Why are you going to take from me? But if you pay people and you pay them good and they are receiving it on time and they don't want to lose their job. So yes, will people go in cahoots with drug dealers? Yes, because there are criminals everywhere. But when they know that there's a threat of them being held accountable and going to jail and losing their livelihood and their freedom,
thank you.
They will think twice.
All right, now let me get into Jack quick.
Make a quick point, then let's move to Shirley.
Let me make a quick point. Because, Francis, the first thing first, the LDA came into being, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I stand to be corrected, during any time. And those guys were taking pay on time. So, the drugs infiltration in the country was silent because it was fought. It was fought upon. So the LDA everybody was on the pace. That's number one. And they were getting paid on time. So I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that when you just come in to take over from 6 years of people being already glued to in cahoots with the dealers and the sellers, trust me, what you have to do first is to have a complete reform of that entire body. That's number one. That should be a first key point before even talking about stepping up salary. We know that will come. Anyway, it will come from 7 and after it's not still meeting the stand up, you can still go again and love it. You understand? But believe in me that the first thing first, you got to get that whole group, every county, you got to reshuffle the whole county.
Thank you, Prince. Thanks a lot, Shirley. Let's hear from you, and then we make the quick transition.
Well, I want to say hi to every one of you, and to our viewers, and everyone around the world. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good night. And I was at the back just listening to all of you. My computer been acting up, but yes, I think I agree with Prince. First, I do understand that the leader is trying to show leadership, to speak for his team, to make sure that he can increase that salary. I don't think anything is wrong with that. But I just need to point out that if something is in you, you it's hard for it to get out of you. And I agree that, the first step that, if I'm a leader, the first step that I'm going to take is to do training. So I think he needs to focus on training those people, training them about, the right things to do, and making sure that they have integrity, they can get paid, they can have all the benefit. And I think Moduba said it right. If you scrap one deal with any of the drug dealer, you're talking about thousands of dollars in one day or in 1 week, versus you waiting for your paycheck of $400 to come in. If you don't have integrity, you will be thinking about, wait a minute, my $400 can come in 1 month, but I get the thousand or two, three, $10,000 to take from the person right now. What am I gonna do? So I think just training those people for you to look for people that have the integrity to serve the Liberian people, and that means that they will do the right thing even if nobody is watching them, because they will go on the fee, they will interact with drugs dealers that have so much money, and once they have integrity, they will not compromise. They will be able to do the right thing for the Liberian people. So I pray and hope that he can push training forward, and not just training in Liberia. Try to get in contact with, have international connection where you can train those people the right way for them to do the right thing for the Liberian people.
Okay, so for you, Shirley, you don't think that $400 increasing their salaries to $400 is going to help the situation? You think
I don't
that
think,
it should be more about training, and
yes,
so you
I
think
don't
he
think
missed the
anything
mark?
wrong.
You think he missed the mark if that comment, or
Mhm.
if there was just one thing that the lawmakers were to look at, take away from him to serve as a check mark for him? If that statement was on the table, you think he would have gotten an X, and you think that's not that's not a good way to start?
I would not say I would give him an X, because let's think about it now. He's talking from a perspective where these people have not gotten paid for months. So he looking at that. However, this is a new Liberia. What is your strategy? What can you do different? Okay, so I understand I understand the increasing the pay part, but what can you do different? How can you train these people to go on the street and be able to do the right thing? Because you're not going to follow every one of them. So you need to make sure that training is in place. You need to hold them accountable and make sure that they are doing the right thing.
Okay, thank you, Shirley. And then why this is going on, we woke up to this particular scene here. Let me try to bring this one on. This is the scene that we woke up to.
Know, I've been pushing with that background, and the kind of different things that was sit there want to do. So I want to set an example. We all say don't get.
So let me just hold this view a bit. Let me just pause it a bit. Speaking is Senator Nathaniel Fallow McGill of Margibi County. Next to him is where I can really recognize that person well.
Look like they look like they look like a senator from me. Okay, man.
Okay, so yeah, let's forget about that. Next to him is Dr. Jerry Brown, the CEO there at the JFK. That's Dr. Jerry Brown there. Senator McGill and some other senators today decided to take a drug test. And this is very interesting. So let's listen to what they had to say today.
So one feature of government want to be the president. Get come. Want to be the president. I was
yeah. Oh, you have not sit down. For a fair, I get it. So. As I did.
Other senators will be coming. So we'll be talking about. We want to set an example. I would say if you want to drug killing on people and weekend easy, especially in all the countries around most around. Maybe in other countries, I don't know what. I mean, prevalent across the whole country.
Right.
So we as leaders will want to set an example. So to get drug free, we have to try to be the first for people to take our test. So when people kind of say, well, where a drug test, you can't do it for your argument, you are not on your back. So the president want the president to ask you questions to do your professional background. Maybe the person will say, the president will ask you your professional background and the techniques that you have here. And you tell what kind of test you're coming to run so the public can know.
What just to clear?
Yeah. So, thank you and welcome to the media.
Okay. So there you have it. There you have it. Dr. Jerry Brown of the JFK. Firstly, you heard Senator McGill there saying that they want to take the lead, they want to set the example. While he was speaking, Senator James Barney, Zoe Penn, in whose office they were having the meeting, and the other senators, they all went in. And Senator McGill is heard saying to the rest of the folks that they are about to do their drug test as a way of demonstrating to the Liberian people that they are very passionate about the fight against drugs. They want to be the first, the senators. The few senators you saw in there, Simeon Taylor and all of them, they want to be the first batch of people to take the drug test, to demonstrate to the Liberian people that they are very, 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 very serious when it comes to this whole fight against drugs in our country. Now, let's hear from you guys. Jerry, that Dr. Brown had his own stuff to say about the test and all of that. What do you guys make of this thing? Senators going for drug tests today.
You want to start?
Let's start with you, Mom.
I'll ask a lot of questions, right? I want to know, like, it was pre-planned or it was just like they just catching in the know that you're doing just test today, because all these things come with questions. You can just see somebody say, "Oh, let the media come, let the people come do our drug test, blah 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 blah." It's not how just test work.
Now, Maba, you asking the first question, but let me just say that bulk of those things that will happen in those different ministries, agencies, all those things that are happening around here, majority of those things has a root from what goes on in the media. All those stakeholders, they follow different conversations, they follow the discourse, they follow what people are talking. And you guys here know that for some time we have been talking about this issue about drug tests. All right, Senator Dillon said it the other time, we elevated it, and everyone has been talking about this until Ambassador Barker came and put more fire on the whole thing, saying that he would take the lead and he encouraged other people to follow suit. Today, the senator decided to do as per what the president said, or in line with what the president asked him to do. So
yes, I agree with what you're saying. That's why I'm coming from with my question, right? Because just text is not just done when somebody's in the know. That's my point. I can be in the know, I'm going to do just text. No. Maybe they'll just call me one day and say you got to do your just text. So I think that whole thing, to me, it should be canceled within my thinking. Like everybody get our own way of thinking or doing things. And then the people who conducting all the drug tests and other stuff can go back and be like, okay, you know what? We're gonna set and come back, but we're gonna tell you the exact time. And they that getting unaware. They put work 3 times a week, right? So if you want to get it, it's very easy. It's easy. The day didn't work, you make a phone call. Oh,
so Mama, are you saying that the fact that the lawmakers knew that they were going to do drug tests, they organized their own press conference and everything for this drug test, we're not supposed to
Who
take it
does that?
seriously because they were doing it for the cameras? You think so, Mama?
Of course. No one
but
does that.
Mama, why will you turn down this whole
Because
effort
it's not
of
how
the
justice
lawmakers?
work. It's not how it
Because
works.
the same time Gregory on today.
It's not how it works. You can't call somebody from JFK and come to some kind of area and say, come and do drug test. All coming. We'll come and do it yet. No, we're not kid there, man. We understand. It's not how it works.
No, listen, man. Listen.
Nelson.
Mama,
Nelson.
you have to be fair to those lawmakers.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just looking on the
Senator McGill of all persons. You saw the senator. Yeah.
Nelson.
We'll come to you, Shirley. I beg you.
I just want to say something quick with what Nelson
yeah, okay.
I want to say
let's
something quick with what Motherbat is saying. With you can pre-plan that. You can all and even he that my gay pricing pointed out today when Gregory brought his drug test result, which I thought was really good at him that he was able to go ahead and do it. However, I agree with Mike that you can just bring a test result to us, and that's my own dad that I'm talking about here. So let's just put that on record. But it should be something where they send you to a specific doctor and say you have from this time to this time to go and do your drug test. So the whole thing.
You claim all my time. I will you give my time back.
No. Shirley is taking her own time. That her time she's using to.
I put my hand out to ask her.
But this is serious. This is serious. Is there anything wrong for the lawmakers to newly organize their own drug test plus press conference? Is there anything wrong with that?
It was a show up.
Nelson, let me tell you, right? Drug tests around the whole world. People do drug tests on known to the person. How will you get a whole press conference and you know that you can already do the drugs? Then you get press conference, then you call in the doctor.
Are you serious about this? All around the world,
people
do drug tests unknown to the person.
Don't shake your head.
Is it possible for you to do drug tests?
I would say no to that model, but let's go ahead.
No, but listen.
Can I come in?
No, guys.
You know what?
Let's
Before
give
we elevate the conversation for me,
let's give Mobile. Listen, Mobile. You have 30 seconds to conclude. Then we'll move to Prince. Mobile. Is it possible for anybody to do drug tests without knowing at all? So how you do it? You just see the man walking. He say can't go take drug tests.
No, listen. Let me give you one scenario. I will not call him, right? My first job I was working to.
Don't be scared. Call him.
No, but it's not even here. But it won't get all working together. But because the way the guys, everybody knew what she was doing. You know what it did? One time the girl come to where the tell said that go. She said, "Why are going? Say going for a drug test." You understand? So while she was already get it in her system, they'll know she could flash it, or if she will not get it, then she will be clear. So I'm simply trying to tell you that just test the way it run on a new basis. I can tell you, I can inform you before time tell you you're going to do drug test. You knew somebody urine, you knew somebody saliva. It's possible. Don't shake your head. The thing happening every day, but
why are you paying attention to my head?
Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
Okay, you may not use nobody the urine, but as long as they tell you you're going to do drug test today, they can still do it today. And when you get anything in your system, you can flush it out. It's possible.
Thank you, sir. Mobile, let's hold you there. Let's hear from Prince. Prince, what's your take on this? Is this a commendable action here from the lawmakers? Senator McGill, Senator Zoe Emmanuel Pennell, Senator James Barney, Senator Simeon, how do you call him? Senator Taylor from Cape Mount. They decided to do their drug test. They called the media, they called the press, they put the cameras on, the microphones were on. And then They asked the doctor, they told him the journalist come and ask you. And the journalist asked the doctor. And the doctor, Dr. Jared Brown, told them, and they did their test. Is this commendable or not?
Nelson, I don't know whether you picture something from on the table. I know that who offered what in there so?
Senator Zoe Emmanuel Pena.
Zoe Pena from Zulu Whiskey. Now, all that after the Maryland senator came in, he took the napping. Everybody started taking napping. You observe that? You captured that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, Nelson, what Mobile just told you, except for employment purposes, they will tell you tomorrow you get a drug test to go to do for employment purposes. That's one. Two, any job, a lot of jobs in America, they do a random drug test. They don't tell you when you come in. One day you get kind of work.
Someone like a senator. Now, Prince, someone like a senator, Senator McGill, for example, he controls.
Working for the people.
He controls. Are you saying that somebody should just see Senator McGill walking through the corridors of the Capitol building and say, Senator, can I go do your drug test we here today?
What made him different from other human beings? Because he's senator? Huh?
Now, working for the people.
The first thing first, Nelson, when you, the senator, decide to do a drug test, Sherry just said, there should be a location or locale. You can't just go call doctor and with JFK. Oh, Dr. Princeberg, come here today. You come and do our drug test. Media, we need Spoon Network. You can sit down. We tell the person to come and do our drug test. My friend, who know what you already clean for 2 weeks? Very soon.
Okay, thank you.
I decided not to snuff anything for 2 weeks. I call you to do drug test. I will be what? Negative. I'll be negative. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I think over there they were just showing up. For me, they were just showing up. Oh, the president said, do drug test. Ain't the president did drug test and vice president. So we gotta do drug tests. That's what I see. I see nothing different than they did what it. Nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't want to commend the senators. You are being.
Nelson, can I come in, please?
Okay, just take your time.
Hear them.
Go ahead. It's your turn, Emmy. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
I think everybody getting this thing confused. Having a law that requires people to do random drug tests is different from when somebody just volunteering to do a drug test to encourage other people. That's two different things.
Do it in the
Mama, you are not interrupt. I mean,
and I think you guys are confusing that. So what happens if JMB that said him and his vice president will do it first? Will you say that showing off too? That they already cleaned their systems? This is not a law. This is not required yet in a Senate or in the House. This is something that they are also doing to, like JMB said, to encourage other people. It's different from a company having a law that require people that they can just get up and tell somebody, say, go do a random drug test. That's two different things than somebody trying to do something that is not required at all. They can choose not to do it. Nobody can force them into doing it. They are just getting up and doing it because they want to follow what the president said to encourage other people to come in and do it. So it's nothing like showing off or whatever. Even when Biden doing a blood whatever COVID test and all the things in here, all injection and all the, what do you call that? It's to encourage people. It's to sending people to come in to do it. It's not something like, oh, you have to do it, and why didn't you wait till 10 years when nobody knows, then you go and do it. That's two different things you're missing up here, and it's not the same. So these people following the president mandate to do it is commendable.
It's commendable.
Yes, because they didn't have to do it. They did not. The president said he urged other people to do it. Is it a law? No, it's not.
Let's take it another level, guys.
Nothing. Anything is not
Can I take my time out?
Assuming,
it's not done properly.
Assuming Senator McGill for example, assuming Senator McGill did his drug test. And the test proved that the senator has drugs in his system.
Like
What do
only
we do
example
in that
senator.
case?
Like only example senator.
Okay, let's say
Then
no, guys, no. You will not put
why
me in
be
that
me yourself
trap.
interrupting my time?
Listen,
Maluba is interrupting today. Seriously.
No. I just
listen. You have to be there, Francis, man, Moba. You see, Francis is
Francis is
quietly
waiting.
listening. You know, so I mean,
After Emmy,
listen,
is my turn, right?
Emmy,
Nelson.
no, after Emmy, we're going to Francis because Francis is the most quiet guy. He's not.
Tell about you get drafted. She's not speaking already. Got to after Amy out.
I ain't speaking.
I have finished that time.
So let's assume now. Okay, Moba say I shouldn't use Senator McGill. Assuming.
No. I said
example. Simeon Taylor, Senator Simeon Taylor. He did his drug test. The test came up to prove that what positive, right? He has drugs in his system. What do we do in that case? How do you guys think this thing will really be because the whole drug testing this senator they bring in now, extending to public officials, senator, they don't brought the whole thing up, it going small. So are we going to see people being recalled or individuals being removed from that position? What sort of penalty do you think should be there for those public officials?
It all depends. If there's a law that says that if anything like this happen, these people should be removed, or
that's
they don't
the point.
Have that. They don't have that as you know, as part of the law in the Senate or in the House. They don't have that yet. So we can only sit here and assume, but we don't know really what's going to happen because it's not anything that binding until.
But then what's the essence? Look, I mean, and this is where I come from. If we don't have any constitutional or legal backing to remove those individuals or take actions against them. Now, in the case of, let's say, Gregory Como or Abraham Krumah, Amin Moda, all those people, if they do that drug test, they carry the result. If the result proves that it is positive, those individuals' nominations can be their confirmation can be, it can be they can hold their confirmation or they can reject them, right, for that position. The rejection
is that a requirement?
No, I mean,
it's up to the president at that point, Nelson, to be the one to say no. I cannot have such a person working in my government, in my cabinet, in my administration, or whatever. I can't have such a person working there. But I don't know if that is part of the Senate or responsibility or
the point I'm making,
or whatever. I don't know.
The point I'm making is, I just want us to end up here. The point I'm making is, in the case of those appointed officials, some of them, I can tell you, any of them who go to that Senate and they carry drug tests, the test prove that they're positive. The senators will ride on that. They will not confirm those people.
They can do that.
They want to prove a point. They want to prove a point.
That.
But then,
they can do that.
How, and that would be punishment or whatever with respect to that, right? But how do you get at the senators in this case?
You can't.
That's it.
You can't, because there's no law that binding them to what.
What is the essence of drug tests for senators?
Well, listen, Nelson. The essence here is I think you guys are missing the whole thing. People, maybe it's going to be a law they don't want that come is require every government official down to the Senate or whatever, elected official to be drug free or whatever. But now we're trying to get rid of drug out of our country. Is a disease that is touring the country. So this is for the president. This is to encourage people that are doing it already. Okay. My opinion. Don't shoot me. To encourage them to stop. And then with all these people that always running behind saying muya, whatever, and so when they see them doing it and they come out as negative, no senator gonna know themselves doing drugs and intentionally go sit on somebody to do drugs tests. It's not happening. It's not required. It's not amended. So why would I put myself in that situation?
But I mean,
nobody would do that.
I mean, that's what I was saying. So the man,
can you let us talk now?
Let's move to Francis. Francis, go ahead, sir. This whole thing about drug tests, Senator McGill, and the other senators, they did their thing today, man. They did their test. They
It
did
was a
it.
welcoming sight to see
They
that
did it.
they took leadership. They went and got their test done. Whether they planned it or not, first of all, the Senate, the House, and the Senate, there's you can't recall them. But if, for example, somebody is positive for drugs, illicit drugs, because some of these guys older, they take medication and stuff, but for outlaw drugs, their colleagues can kick them out. Their colleagues can kick them out. There are rules for that, that govern the House and the Senate, ethical rules that govern the House and the Senate. You can recall them because these guys are elected officials in the House and Senate, but that colleagues can kick them out. But it's a welcome sign. Our country, most of the time, we just do things crazy way and stuff. But to see our elected officials and government officials leading the charge to help fight drugs, I don't think everybody should be sitting that.
Francis, are you there?
Yeah, the internet first, because why you gotta say
That's what he got for trying to go before me. This is principle.
But go ahead, Mary. Let's hear you.
Can
No, we're not hearing you.
my man, somebody call you lock up.
You want to lock?
Nobody calling me.
Okay.
Is it okay now?
Much better. Go ahead, sir.
All right. So yeah. But even when it comes to drug testing for jobs, first of all, most jobs, there's no such thing as random drug tests where you just walk in the corridor and pull you. Most jobs, Prince, you're gonna stop interrupting. Most jobs, when you are suspected of being under the influence, then they will refer you to go and get a test done. You know how much lawsuit will happen if you just grab somebody and say, go take a drug test for no reason? In this country, when you are suspected of being under the influence, they will say you to go get a drug test. But upon new hire, they will tell you, yes, go and take a drug test on this day. Schedule your drug test before you get come for training or before you accept you to work for our company. So yes, in Liberia, it's a welcome idea. If President Parker says a requirement that before you go.
Oh, Francis, your internet is not permitting you to make your point.
Friends, they get love for making a point, but
yeah,
the
but you can make it.
But
let's take Marie. Marie, go on quickly.
Thank you.
What's your take on this action? Yeah, go ahead.
It's commendable for what they tried to do. I wouldn't consider it as they did it, but they tried. Now with drug tests, right? What the scenario that Molba gave, that's a random drug test that they conducted on that individual. And yes, it's possible for people to take a drug test and, let me just say there's nothing that I'm not understanding, okay? It wouldn't work until a governing, like a law is put into place. Because even for the jobs that you go and take a drug test for, right? Yes, they can tell you, say, oh, in 5 days' time, you have a drug test and your appointment is set so and so. Now, the job will always give you a time frame that they know it's impossible for you to detox your system in that time frame, right? And you will go and take that drug test. But one thing that's confusing me is when you conduct the drug test, the hospital is not giving you the result to go and hand it to the job. They send it directly to the job. So what make you think if Gregory Coleman drug test said positive, he was going to walk with that positive test and go give it to the people and say, this is my positive drug test? It doesn't make any sense. And that's including the senators. What make you think they will go and hand a positive result? There's a possibility some of them will take the drug test and, they test positive. I commend the president for what he wants to establish. And I think they need to do it properly where one entity can be recognized as the drug testing center, and the results are to be given directly to where it needs to go without having to give it to that second party that they are dealing with. It doesn't make any sense. And I think for the House of Senate right now, I feel like they're all over the place. They 2 weeks ago we watched some of the lawmakers declare their asset. I would think that the rest of them will go in line and declare their asset first before going to the drug test aspect. But I feel like everybody doing what makes sense for them. Okay, let me do this, and it seems like I'm leading by example, and let me do this. It shouldn't be that way. I think they should all be in alignment and doing the right thing to be the representation of the Liberian people that they need. But right now, I don't see it. That's why I said it's commendable for what they tried to do. But whatever result they got is not considered as a drug test to me.
Do you recommend senators making their drug test public? Marie?
It's not the senators that will make their drug test public, because they won't bring a positive result to you, like I previously stated. I think in alignment with whatever hospital that the company, I mean the president will choose to be doing to conduct the drug test, they should have some form of connection with it to the executive mansion page, so that drug tests for various representatives and senators will be posted there for the Liberian people to see the results.
Okay, thank you. Charlotte, you want to go quick?
Where is Francis? Francis tried to take my time, but he didn't make it. But Nelson, I think Mary have already laid out the importance of even doing the drug test. Like it's I understand that my gay whatever was trying to prove a point and nothing towards him, because as soon as Gregory got in, I mean, that was like the first thing he wanted to talk about, to ask if the man was willing to take a drug test. Um, I'm not necessarily gonna agree that him taking a drug test, having it sealed up, having a result, and taking the result in was a good thing. However, I think it was just a first step of him showing that example that, I'm prepared to take it. Because the question was even asked if he was prepared to take a publicly in front of them, or, or doctor or hospital can be picked for him to go there. He was willing to do it. And I think I gave him credit for that. And I also give credit to the senator trying to show example, just what the president and the vice president are trying to show, that this is what we want everybody to do. However, I think we need to do it the right way, and the right way will be having a law in place.
Thank you.
What is if the result come up positive, what is the consequences? Are we just taking a drug test because we want to take it, or if we take it and the result is positive, what what is the guideline for that? Are they still going to take their job? They're still going to because I know Amy said that it's up to the president, but let have a law in place, and then make the drug test something that is required for government position or positions that are important for the people of Liberia. And Nelson, stop cutting me up, because I see Prince putting his hand up while I'm trying to talk too. But it's okay.
Thank
I
you.
put myself on
Thank
mute.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Can I get
Thanks
show
a lot.
you something a little bit?
You want to show me something?
No, I said, can you give me just Maybe one
Yes,
minute.
sir.
All right. So I agree with Maggie just now when she said
Maggie?
no,
Marie?
Marie. I
Okay.
agree with Marie when she just said that after they said all senators and representatives, government officials should declare the assets, right? Some of the lawmakers been doing that, but some of them, so what she said, it's just like I will do the one, but I will not do the one. How many since I think Darrell came out with own, she not stick with who else? I think
Yombi Kanga.
some fella Jean-Pierre Kanga. The other president they get relaxed.
Thank you. Thank you. We want to go to the lines now and take few calls. The folks are trying to call in. The lines are very busy right now. So let's take few calls. And let's hear what our audience think. Let's hear what the people have to say about this issue. You can call tonight on 0555-101075, 0555-101075, or you can also call on the WhatsApp number that I'm pinning right on the screen here. You can call this number and be able to make your input here tonight on the show. Okay. Night, sister. Yeah. So let's take our first call here. Hello. You're live. Your name and oh, okay. We missed that person. So let's take this one. You're live. Your name and where you call from. Can you go ahead? Can you reduce the volume of the gadget you're using to monitor, please? Hello?
Hello, you can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead now. You're live.
Okay, my name is Alexander Samuka. I believe all government, not just government official, all government workers should be required to do drug tests. And we have to have a reputable organization like a designated hospital that will be able to handle that, not just anybody go to any hospital to do it.
Okay.
And there should be a law in place that if somebody go and they are tested positive, maybe twice, the person should be able to lose their job. Like in America, if you go do drug test and you tested positive, I don't even know if I can give you second chance, but you're not going to get that job again.
Thank you.
And it's not you that are going to take the result out. You only go and do the test and walk out.
Thank you.
The result go to the place where it's supposed to go.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from. Can you go ahead, sir? Let's hear you.
Listen, how you guys doing?
Yes, sir. We're okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Prince Dolo. I'm calling from Virginia.
Okay.
First of all, I want to tell you guys thank you for all that you do. And Prince was talking about the paying of the security earlier this when you were talking about, you talk a whole lot of things and I listened to it, but the paying of the security is very important.
Yeah.
Our security need to be paid properly.
400 USD. 400. Can that make a difference?
The 400 USD is little. It's little for them. Because we have a noise maker, we call them lawmaker.
Come on.
They're making millions of dollars.
These are our honorable men. You know, you want to call them noise makers?
No, they are noise makers. They make a lot of noise. People are protecting us. People are protecting us, supposed to get good pay. They're making more money and also giving a gas slave to get all the benefits, but they go in there and make noise. That some of them can't even carry nothing home to their people to get for them.
Thank you.
Our security need to be paid well.
Thank you.
Instead of paying all the noise makers, they go and make noise.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you. Let's read and take another person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from. Let's hear you quickly. Hello, are you there? Wow. Okay, please go ahead. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. I would first like to say we are calling for calling for Massachusetts Boston. Sorry. Let's go to the issue of the salary fights.
Yeah.
The salary is not the issue. It's the commitment of the job. If you are a security person, the first thing you must have a passion for your job. Now, even in the very DA that you speak of, you know how many people in the DA that smoke the drugs and take the drugs? There's part. Within that case, giving somebody $400 and the person is not committed to the job, they don't have passion for the job, they can do more than even what you not expected. So the first thing they should look at the issue of people who in the service that can take drugs. So when they go on the crime scene, they will be able to arrest the people who are fear. Now, let's come to the next issue pertaining to the test. How can you be a police director? You go take a drugs test. Then you go and say, okay, nice, give me the drugs test, let me carry it to the pool. No. You should be taking the drugs test and wait for the result. And drugs test don't come 1 or 2 days. I take a drug training before in West Virginia. I took a drug training before with the DA. So in the aspect, you can just join DA and at the end of the day, you say, oh, I'm going to take drug test. Even the director of police, the DA director, they didn't take drug test. You should take a drug test.
Thank you.
Because people in the service there, yeah. Now come here, brother. People in the service there, also, they are taking drugs.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let's take another person here. Then we'll go to our local lines, take few calls, and then we wrap up from there. Okay, so let's see if we can take this one from here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Good morning. How do you do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Eric Carey calling from Broadville.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I must commend you for the topic on our discussion. But let me just be quick to the point. The issue of drug test, especially that which is being done by the senators. Let me just make this point. I want to raise it so that people can understand. The issue of senators taking the drug test is just symbolic. I want my friends in studio there to understand it.
You say it's symbolic?
It's symbolic, yes.
Okay.
Symbolic in the sense that they are leaders. They want to show us the rule they want us to travel with. So they're doing this test so that we who are their subjects can see that they are against the drug test.
Thank you.
Let's be real. If the senators do the drug test and they are positive, who are they going to report it to for action? You have to be logical. You have to be analytic. You have to be.
So then the question that some people are asking is, if the senators are taking the test, take for example, Dr. Jerry Brown was invited at the Senate. He's in this office of one of the senators along with his staff. They're about to do the test for the senators. So in the case where those senators are positive, what happens?
Fine. That's a very good salient question you ask me. If the senators are positive on the test that was conducted, we will be happy to say, oh, this senator is now a positive drug user. So it will be an issue. So to turn the point around is, if the senator is taking a drug test, it's also serving as an example for the other men to know it is a path that we should follow with.
So you think it was commendable, right? You think that action
yes,
was commendable?
Highly commendable.
Thank you, sir.
Highly commendable. Then to the last issue, please, just to the point, then I can close. The issue of the DA designate director who
A.B. Krumah, 400 USD.
Of salary. That's a wide range of that we should take a look at. First, who are those that are fighting the crimes? Who are those that are committing the crimes? What are the issues? So it's a wide range of activities that has to look at critically before you can make a decision.
Thank you, sir.
This issue of ministry is commendable as well. But let you look at those people that are fighting the crime. What are the issues? What's their competence? What is their focus? How committed are they to the job? These are all issues that have to be outlined.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Training is key.
Let's hold you there, sir. Thank you. Let's take you quickly. Maybe just 30 seconds. Hello, you live?
Yes, sir. Hey, Nelson, brother Tommy from Virginia, and shout out to you and our wonderful panelists. So, Nelson, here's the thing. We commend our senators, our lawmakers for taking the test. That's a good thing. The reality We don't want this to be seen as just like a political point or some sort of score they want to gain favor with the president of the like people.
Yeah.
What we want our representatives and our senators to do is to put more money into the budget about prevention programs and education programs about substance abuse. We want them to go to their district and introduce programs, work with the community about fighting substance abuse. But most importantly, we want them to introduce legislation that would make the possession and distribution of illegal substance very punishable by our law. Let them introduce the strongest law against that. Let them put
They
money
already
into
have
the
a
budget.
law on that.
And then we will know.
The drug law was
Correct,
passed.
but it's lenient. I've read the law, and Nelson, it's extremely lenient. And it doesn't go into just the distribution and the possession. We have to be very strong about this. And then the education and the budget part will really let us know that they're serious about fighting substance abuse. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Let's take the last 3 calls and then we'll wrap up. This person here from this WhatsApp. Hello.
Thank you very much. Let's take the last 3 calls.
You are live, or can you reduce the volume of your gadget?
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir. You are live.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You are live. Your name and where you call from? Yes, sir. You are live. Wow.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You are live.
Hey, Nessie. I think what we need to look at here, we need to look at the setup of a clinic or how you call it. Also, the drug text for some hospital to be able to have it in the counties, because I mean, just having people just coming around say, "Oh, I want to do a drug test," I don't think it's going to work. But if you can have like in Banga or in those counties, have a setup, but the president just declare, and we don't know what is what. Everybody just coming, okay, I do my drug test, I'm doing this here. I think they need to look at that. Let them have a system. Let it, like here, if you're in the US and you're doing a drug test, they got people that specialize in it. You're not just going to do it in a hospital.
Thank you.
So they
Thank
need
you,
to consider
sir.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take a call from the local line here. Hello.
How are you, Nazin?
Yes, sir. Your name and where you call from?
Nazin, this is WP call from 540.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Nazin, what I see from my side of the war crime code. Just war crime code.
War crime code?
Are you getting me?
You say a war crime code?
Yeah, we talk about war crime code business.
No, we ain't talking about war crime code though.
But from the usual say we're talking about Prince Johnson while he getting vexed.
Okay.
He started to talk, and we talked something like that before.
Okay, just make your point in that light.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It will not be whole. Definitely, I'm telling you, the war crime code will not be whole by this man. You can remember when he said it for the first time after Prince Johnson came back and laughed at this president. You ever heard him when he was giving a inaugural speech? You know what they did that? He just forgot about it. You heard him talk about it because Prince Johnson laughed at him. So he just closed him off. That's how it means, my brother. Just watch it. They will never have war crime code in your place. What Prince Johnson is supporting this president, they will never have it here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The final call on this line. Hello, you're live from the WhatsApp. Yeah, can you say your name, sir, and where you're calling from? Sorry. Please hold on a bit. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Mohammed calling from Kuala Lumpur.
From where?
Malaysia.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, concerning the drug issues in Liberia, first and foremost, what Liberians should try to do first, they should try to set up organships. I did look for equipment that will be able to introduce for these drug trips. Because where I stay, like for example, nighttime or maybe morning time, you would meet up with a roadblock and all this equipment will be available. They are not going to take today, we're going to make drug tests here, we're going to make drugs there. Then no, they just stop you on the way, and if you find you suspicious of drugs, and to do your drug test right away. And when you are found negative, you'll be taken to the law.
But what the issue of telling people that tomorrow you're going to take drug tests, after tomorrow is not necessary. What first Liberian government should try to do is try to look for equipment for these drug tests. And these drug tests should even start in the high school and colleges, because these are the main areas of usage of drugs are. None of these senators, these representatives. No, from high school, from colleges.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we can do our closing now. But would any of you recommend this thing about drug tests, the introduction of drug tests in high school and colleges? You think is necessary? Let's start our closing. Let's start our closing there. Mobile. Let's start the closing from you. We'll start with you. Come to Shirley, Marie, Prince, and then Ami will take us home.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you. Let me close by saying this. I think the awareness is most important because, and it's not only the awareness. You turn it the infect. You break down, like you tell them how it works. If you take drugs, drug damage your future. If you take drugs can lead to suicide. If you take drugs can lead to do a lot of things. You know, may you uncomfortable, may you unreasonable. You know, like if you going around, if you get a team in Liberia, right? You get a whole team that work along with JFK, either JFK or any other renowned hospital, right? But through the government sponsoring that program, I think the drugs issue was a little bit go down. Because the more you educate people on something, someone that will be afraid or like, no, I got a bright future ahead of me.
Thank you.
And I got
Thank
this,
you,
more especially in the school, in the community, in the church. You know, like you just carry the awareness on a daily basis. And all the people, let me conclude by saying that all the people who will be going out there doing the awareness should be people who get a little knowledge on first aid or maybe get a little bit out there on medical issue. Then that would be better.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Prince. Oh, okay. We said Shirley next, right?
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Okay, Shirley, please go ahead.
All right, Nelson. First, I want to say thank you to everyone that on the show tonight and to our audience. It's always great to watch the comment section. All of you input art, great. I want to close with this. I think it's a great idea that people that are trying to set example with the whole drug testing. But I hope that we can have a law in place where it is done the right way, and have a place or places in Liberia that lawmakers or people that work in the government make it a requirement that they can go there and be able to take their drug test. Like everyone said, it's not something where you are going to physically give the result to anyone. You can give the result to the people that need to see it, so it can be
Thank
your
you.
employer, and then action can be taken if the
Thank you.
result come up positive.
Thank you, Shirley. Marie, 30 seconds. You're closing.
That my own time you call town.
No, we're going by the timer
It's
now.
okay.
We just set the timer.
I agree with everyone else. Tonight was a good show. And I think the drug test issue in Liberia is something serious that needs to be looked at. However, I kind of partially disagree with your suggestion, Nelson, because I don't think we should start from high school right now. I think you can start from specific educational area that their people lives depend on them. For instance, nurses. I know in nursing school I've had two occasions where some of my friends were randomly tested, and when they tested positive, they was taken out of the program. Is unacceptable. But if you have students in high school right now that don't already want to be in school on the street, what would be the consequences for them testing positive? I think education right now will be the best thing to start with, and then later go into testing the students. But for
Thank
now,
you.
it should be the government officials, the public service people, everyone that is being employed by the government, as well as
Thank you.
healthcare personnel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Mr. Way, Prince, let's hear you.
All right. Again, let me say, my, my. The thing there is that, Nelson, when you talk about high school, sometimes when I go to Liberia, go around, the children got 3 times that they around about 10 in the morning, they on the beaches, sitting down, they smoking. Around about 12 before school over, they're there. By 6 before they go home, then they're there. The awareness is the first thing first in school and teachers. Then you bring it over to CSA, the Civil Service Agency, the entire CSA. Everybody must do a drug test to be employed with the government, to work in government entity. Then, lastly, education in our country is lacking a lot, and we have to emphasize on it a lot. That's the reason
Thank
why
you.
we go and vote people who are not supposed to vote in power. And again, let me say sorry to the people of Nairobi, Kenya, for that disaster that went on today. It's very, very dangerous to the Kenyans. We get pray for recovery for a lot of them that are in hospital today.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you, sir. Um, Ms. Cora, we'll give you 1 minute to just weigh in your thoughts on this as you do your closing all in 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening and good morning to you, Nessie. And I really like this topic. Drug testing is important, but what do you have in place when you test somebody? I would like to see the Liberian government establishing areas in the whole of Liberia, specific areas that will be a contact points where we can help our children and help the user of drugs. So if you test them, you get it out of the system and say this is what we're going to do when you are tested positive. You're not going to have your job. We're not going to instate you into an office. We're not going, like, for example, the AFL. I can remember one in Liberia. They wanted to have people being, employed in the AFL or the police. They used to do drugs tests, but it was not, the rules were bending. That they would do some people and they will not enroll them in the institution, and they will do some, they'll enroll them in the institution. So I want them to have a real guideline what they want to see happening. I also want to see how they can have an area. There are a lot of children out there that need help. High school, even the elementary schools, you'll find children involved in drugs. So it should be part of the curriculum. But before doing that, let's create an awareness on drug uses. Then you create a great awareness in all of the community and towns. Get community members involved. Get the family involved. Let the family understand the dangers of illegal drugs. If the family are involved, I can tell you the uses of drugs will go away. So let be holistic. So let's get everyone involved. So I think it's a great show. The topic is important that we can expand on again. So I wish
Because
that the
you are not
government
here today. Because you are not here today. You hope we can expand on it again. But
again.
thank you very much, Miss Kura, for
You can disgrace people intelligent now. Oh,
no, I mean I'm just saying.
I
But
know.
it's something that you were able to join us. We appreciate you a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you.
finally, take us home. I mean, you have 20 seconds.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna urge the senators, right? I applaud them for trying to follow the president's footstep to put your finger down. Trying to follow the president's footstep and doing what he said he was gonna do. This is it. If you are really serious and you want to fight drugs out of Liberia and you want to encourage other people, don't just make it like, oh, go sit and show yourself doing justice. Pass a bill that would make it illegal for any lawmakers, for any government officials for that matter, elected or appointed. Pass that bill, then we know that you are serious. Then all these rumors about lawmakers having being the ones selling, bringing drugs in, and all of that, I mean, pass a good bill for that. I know we have a drugs bill that's something for the supplier and the end user. But what about y'all who work in the government to stop that? You know, it will show people your commitment and seriousness for what you're trying to do. I mean, you may not get it all to the TDF, but you know, just trying alone is a we should applaud you for doing that. That's what I want to say, and just go ahead and try to pass a bill, and let's see what happens.
Pass it and enforce it. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Pass it and enforce it. Make it a strong law.
We want to say thanks to everyone tonight for being here. Thank you, Miss Cora, for coming in. We appreciate you. Thanks to you, Mr. Prince. Thanks to you, Miss Marie Ketor. To our dear sister Shelley, to our dear sister Amy, the missionary, Marshall Territory. She says she's not
Missions completed. It's now Marshall Territory.
So, our dear brother Moba, we appreciate all of you for being here tonight. We look forward to having a great show tomorrow. And thanks again. And to our viewers, our audience, we appreciate all of you. Let's hope we can be here tomorrow again to take on another great show.
And says Cora will come early.
Yeah, from Secretary, that you?
She can be in the bar listening.
I enjoy it. Thank you.